Joined by the head coach of Oregon softball after a weekend in Corvallis. The Ducks take 3 out of 4. And coach, just a gritty series. And that's kind of what you expect from a rivalry series. What was the experience like playing 4 tough games against the Beavers this weekend?
Exactly what you said, just gritty. We had to, as a team, be gritty and just find a way to get it done. To go on the road in a rivalry weekend and get 3 out of 4, I was very happy with our team.
So the loss came in the first game of the doubleheader on the second day of the weekend on Saturday. And, one thing about winning so much this year is you haven't really had too much of a chance to respond to a loss. And the first loss came in the last game of a weekend. So this was kind of the first experience responding to a loss, and the team came back with 2 wins. What did you like about the response from the team? How that loss sat with them, I guess?
Actually, I think that was the most important thing that happened this weekend, is knowing that we didn't play the way we wanted to in game 1 on that day, and were we going to take that into game 2, or we were going to be able to reset as a team and find a way to be better and find a way to get a W in that doubleheader. So it was nice to see them respond and find a way to get the W.
I think McKenna Cleathermos was the epitome of responding. In that loss, didn't have her best stuff, was hit around a little bit, but gave the team a really important relief outing the very next day. And I think she responded. And for somebody who's still so early on in her career, hasn't really had the chance to respond to a poor outing too frequently. What'd you like about that response from McKenna?
I agree. You're exactly right. She is a young pitcher and still growing and finding her way. And I really like how she came in the next day, got the ball, pumped the ball through the zone, had good movement. She had to go against their best hitters and looked completely different. So for a pitcher to be able to shake that off the day before and come back with their best stuff, that's a really good sign and just great growth by McKenna.
It's a really good lineup that Oregon State has. And we talked about this entering the week last week. And what Brooke did against that lineup over 19 and a third innings, and I think she had 34 strikeouts over those 19 and a third. It's pretty impressive to be able to do that against a lineup of that caliber. What did Brooke mean to the team this weekend?
I think for Brooke, too, you're really starting to see her come into her own. She's really starting to understand her abilities on the mound, what she can and can't do, how to attack all different types of hitters. That lineup is a potent lineup over there at OSU. And she had a very specific game plan going into the weekend, and I thought she executed that game plan to the fullest. I mean, we're going to lose a couple over the fence. That's just the type of team they are. But for her to have the ability to do what she did to them throughout the series, I think that's her just really starting to understand her capabilities on the mound.
Take me into that game plan a little bit. How do you beat the Beavs, and how did Brooke execute that game plan?
I think with them, it's you can't, throw certain pitches over and over and over. You've got to do a good job of expanding the zone and changing speeds on them and giving them different looks and not staying typical to your game plan. And I thought she did that. I thought she did a good job of getting ahead. I thought when she had opportunity to put hitters away, she put them away and didn't allow the at-bats to extend.
Enter into this series a little bit shorthanded without a couple really important freshmen. Who do you think stepped up in their absence this weekend? Who are you who are you impressed with, I should say, for stepping into a role and just giving the team their best?
Yeah, I thought putting Val at second, I thought she handled herself really well, hit the ball hard. I think Taya, a true freshman, putting her at shortstop, and she had a couple key at bats that made differences for us in the last game of the series. So I love how they both, we tell them this is what we need from them, and they got in and they got the job done. So I was impressed with them, and I just think overall our team did a good job of knowing that everybody was going to have to step up to help with those two that weren't here this past weekend.
entering a part of the schedule at this point in the season where you're about to see some really excellent pitching. And I think a little bit of preparation for that this weekend was seeing Mariah Masson, who was on her game. She was really, really good this weekend. What are you going to take from facing Mariah, and what makes her a really, really good pitcher, one of the best in the conference?
Yeah, Mariah, we're very impressed with her. She's got good speed. She's got good movement on her ball. Just very composed on the mound. And I think going into this upcoming weekend, you're going to see the same thing with the pitchers from UCLA. So I think facing her this previous weekend will definitely help prepare us for what's coming up next.
Maya Felder had some really clutch
Mm-hmm.
hits. Every week it seems there's a new player who steps up and delivers the clutch knock. Well, this weekend it was absolutely Maya Felder, somebody who may not get a ton of attention, but continually every week just gives you really tough at-bats. Even when she gets out, she's going to make the pitcher earn it. She had a huge weekend. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think Maya just kind of quietly goes about her business, and that's what she's always done, but she's tough to deal with at the plate. I don't think she's an easy out for any pitcher. The 12 pitch at bat that she had in the final game of the series was huge for us. That was big time. She came up clutch, and just watching her at the plate and how much she's grown, and she's tough. She's tough for any pitcher, and you could tell she's very confident with what she's doing right now, and she's taking her hacks.
And I think she adds a little bit of a layer of protection to this lineup, adds a little bit of length to the order. And a player, I think, if you wanted to, you could put her any part of the lineup, top, middle, bottom. She's just going to go in there and do her job. But this is also her first time seeing a large amount of Pac-12 pitching as a transfer from New Mexico State. Has that been impressive to you to walk into a conference like this and to still be herself, to still give these amazing, highly touted pitchers really tough at-bats continually?
I think Maya's a great hitter. She puts the time in. Her work ethic is tremendous. She has a passion for hitting, and I think you get to see that every time she steps up at the plate. So I can't say enough about Maya and what she's done this year at the plate, but she's a very confident hitter right now, and she knows exactly what she wants.
UCLA is always a series that everybody looks forward to. Every fan marks it down on their calendar. It always, even a couple of years ago when you guys didn't make the tournament, you gave them some really tough games down in LA. How do you kind of quiet that noise inside the dugout, inside the locker room before a game or a series like that against one of the best teams in the country?
We have respect for every opponent we play. We're just very businesslike. I don't think this team gets too high, too low. I think they're very big about preparation and staying consistent with what they do before every series, regardless of who the opponent is. And I would expect for them to just continue that into this week and through the rest of the pack. So that's the one thing I think is really good about this team. They're pretty calm, cool, pretty poised about what they're doing and what's ahead. And then also too, what's ahead for them.
UCLA's only loss was against Oregon. If you could take me back to that win against the Bruins earlier this year, it wasn't a conference game, but it was still one, of course, that both teams really wanted to win. What did the team do well against UCLA in that matchup to come out with a victory?
I thought our pitchers gave us a chance to win. I thought Brooke was really good on the mound. I thought our defense was exceptional. They made the routine plays. They made the 50-50s. And then I just think our hitting was timely. When we needed timely hitting, they showed up and they got it done.
And last question, what are the keys this weekend for this 4-game set against the Bruins? I'm looking forward to it. I think everybody's looking forward to this one.
I think I would say the exact same thing, that our pitching staff gives us a chance to win, that our defense is exceptional with what they do out there and make the 50-50s. And then, again, just timely hitting from our offense.
Coach Lombardi, 4 games against the Bruins this weekend. Thanks a lot for your time.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.